Hello guys, how you doing? I hope everyone is staying safe and well, and yeah, we are missing you deeply. But I had this idea. We are sort of known for our quizzes here at the Parrot. We would have had one or two by now this year already, but obviously not. So I've come up with the Parrot Puzzler. So it's just going to be 20 questions. I'll try and make it a weekly thing. We'll run through the questions, and at the end we'll run through the answers. If you want to pause the video and Google the answer, that's up to you, cheater. But otherwise, yeah, we'll just crack on. What do you think of my books behind me, by the way? This seems to be what everyone is doing nowadays. When they're on Zoom and Messenger, video chat, whatever. They all have books behind them. This is the best I can do. I don't have any fancy books at home, so this is it. Our little book space at the Parrot. Anyway, I hope you're all safe, and I really hope that we can open as soon as we can. We are missing you all dearly. However, I'll crack on with the quiz. It's 20 questions. Okay, question 1. How many different breeds have gone on to win the grand title of Best in Show at Crufts? Yeah. It's an okay number. Question 2. Which Disney character was the first to fart on our screens? You might have to go sort of further back than you think. I don't know. Maybe you wouldn't be surprised. Anyway, yeah. Question 3. Which food has the highest levels of zinc? I'll give you a clue. It's seafood. Has more zinc than any other food. Question 4. Winston Churchill served as Prime Minister twice, but how many years in total did he serve? Question 5. Which city do Sugarloaf Mountain and the Statue of Christ dominate? I'd love to be sat on that beach right now. There you go. Which slang term, question 6, which slang term for a tornado was also the title of a 1996 film? Not a bad film. I might go watch it tonight. Question 7. Which is the largest of the Caribbean islands? I think it's fairly straightforward. You shouldn't need any help with that one. Okay, question 8. Question about Suffolk. In which Suffolk town would you find the source of the River Deben? It's pretty sort of obvious if you sort of work out the name of the river. Oh, well. Question 9. Which neighbourhood in Manhattan shares the name of a Gordon Ramsay TV show? I'd love to be there right now as well. Well, if all this wasn't going on. Question 10. What was the name of the van in the kids' cartoon Scooby-Doo? It's a classic. I don't know if they're still making it, but when I was a boy, you know, classic. Okay, question 11. Ray Parker Jr. sang the theme music for which spooky film of the same name? I'm now obviously going to get made, but I'm not going to hum it. I'm not going to give it away. Question 12. In 2001, we saw the first in the series of the Harry Potter films released. In what year was the first book released? I was surprised by this. I was still at school. Well, unless you know how old I am, that might not help. Question 13. What is the main ingredient of Gentleman's Relish? It's like the Marmite of its day, I guess. I think you can still get it now. Okay, question 14. Another rivers question. What is the longest river to only run in England? So nothing that runs through Wales and England or Scotland and England, just England, the longest river. Question 15. At what temperature are both Celsius and Fahrenheit the same? It does happen. I don't know how they work it out. And I'm a Celsius man. I can tell you it's cold. Question 16. Where do the football team nicknamed the Red Devils come from? Fairly easy one. Question 17. Another Suffolk question. Who is the patron saint of Suffolk? You'll often see flags flying as well for this patron saint. Question 18. Which city had the most visitors in the world in 2019? I'm guessing that's going to change a lot this year. Question 19. Which former British colony was given back to China in 1997? Again, I think it's fairly easy. I don't know. I'm sure you know. And last question, question 20. Who was the most expensive football player ever sold? Question 20. Who was the most expensive football player ever sold? He's got megabucks. Okay, time for the answers, guys. Or pause me in a funny face. Go and make a coffee, a cup of tea, probably a gin and tonic. And right, we'll go through the answers. Question 1. How many different breeds of dog have won the grand title of Best in Show at Crufts? It's 43. 43 breeds. Question 2. Which Disney character was the first to fart on our screens? The answer is Pumbaa from The Lion King. I can't remember the year that came out, like 95, 96? Something like that, I think. So yeah, maybe you thought it was earlier than that. Considering Disney have been around quite a long time. Anyway, question 3. Which food has the highest levels of zinc? It is oysters, of course, and obviously you have to eat them raw. If you cook them, you're going to lose some of that zinc. So, oysters. Question 4. Winston Churchill served as Prime Minister twice, but in a total of how many years? It was 8 years. 8 years. Question 5. Which city does Sugarloaf Mountain and the Statue of Christ dominate? It's Rio de Janeiro. Nice and warm. Question 6. Which slang term for a tornado was also the title of a 1996 film? It is, of course, Twister. Question 7. Which is the largest of the Caribbean islands? There's Cuba, famed for their cigars. Rum. Question 8. In which small town of Suffolk would you find the source of the River Deben? It's Debenham. Debenham. Go figure. Question 9. Which neighbourhood in Manhattan shares the name of a Gordon Ramsay TV show? It's Hell's Kitchen. It was a really nice part of New York. I love New York. Question 10. What was the name of the van in the kids' cartoon Scooby-Doo? Of course, the Mystery Machine. Those pesky kids. Question 11. Ray Parker Jr. sang the theme music for which spooky film of the same name? It was, of course, Ghostbusters. Now, probably we're all going to have the tune in our head for the rest of the evening. Question 12. In 2001, we saw the first in the series of the Harry Potter films released. But when was the first Harry Potter book released? It was 1997. That was before I started work. I'm astonished by that. It's very old. Question 13. What is the main ingredient of gentleman's relish? It is anchovies. I love anchovies. Another little interesting fact about anchovies, you can also get them in Leah Perrin's Worcester sauce. Tasty. Question 14. What is the longest river to only run in England? It's the Thames. The Thames, of course. I say of course. Who knows? Question 15. At what temperature are both Celsius and Fahrenheit exactly the same? It's 40 degrees. That's cold in Celsius. I'm getting well, it's cold in Fahrenheit, but it's cold. Question 16. Where did the football team nicknamed the Red Devils come from? So of course Manchester. Question 17. Who is the patron saint of Suffolk? It is of course Saint Edmund. Question 18. Which city had the most visitors in the world in 2019? Well, I think they're going to be a bit disappointed this year. It is Bangkok. Yep. Figure's going to be down. Question 19. Which former British colony was given back to China in 1997? Was of course Hong Kong. Yep. And last question, question 20. Who was the most expensive footballer ever sold? It was Neymar. It was 222 million euros. It's a lot of money. I'm wondering if he's been furloughed. Anyway, so that's it. That's the quiz done. Thanks very much for joining me. I'll be here all week, literally here all week. And hopefully I'll be here next week with our second Parrot Puzzler. So anyway, everyone stay safe. Remember to go out and clap tomorrow for the NHS, please. And thank you to all the other key workers as well. Stay safe, everyone. Stay home.